Panther people out. The Carolina Panthers are favored to win for the first time in 33 games. Our wide receiver one is eating raccoons and Thanksgiving, and Bill Belichick is suddenly coaching football in North Carolina. Is this the craziest week ever? Good night and watching Panthers Post. Thanks for joining. Wow, what a week. What a week. For the first time in a long time, I was listening to national, daily, live sports talk radio in the U.S., just trying to get the ripple effects of Bill Belichick, the fact that he is coaching now at UNC with a $20 million transfer portal fee cap, if you will. Mike Lombardi is now his general manager. So they got general managers in college now. So you got Andrew Luck in Stanford, Mike Lombardi, who is his right-hand man in the early 2000s, I guess, when the Patriots are really winning some of their start of their dynasty. What a time. If you are a Tar Heels fan, put in the comments below how you feel about Bill Belichick, 72-year-old Bill Belichick with a 24-year-old girlfriend, now coaching your team and trying to make them a football factory, basically getting guys, paying them, treating it like it's like NFL light, it's almost like a farm system, and then just churning them out to the NFL. Are they going to win the ACC? I don't know. But let me know in your comments below if you're a Duke Blue Devil person, if you're a North Carolina State fan, let me know how you feel about the fact that Bill Belichick is in the house. And as I told my guy Trev, one of the day oneers out there in New Jersey doing his thing at Newark Airport, man, Dave Canales better shape up. He better do good things the next 3 years, because that Bill Belichick contract is 3 years and he's just down the street now. So Dave Canales starts to, show some wear and tear and, might not be up for the job. David Tepper and company just got to make that call to UNC and be like, hey, you're making $10, $12 million a year. We'll make it $20 million a year, Bill. Come on down. We don't care that you're pushing 80. Bring yourself and your master's degree girlfriend over to Charlotte and let's play some football. Talk about it. It's Cowboy week and the Panthers are in a weird spot. They are favorites. They're the favorites. I think it's -1.5 right now. Favorites against the Dallas Cowboys. Could that change? Maybe if J.C. Horn doesn't actually, if he's doubtful to play on Sunday, maybe there's some sportsmanship there where we don't know what's his situation. But it's all been leading up to this. It has been leading up to the way the Carolina Panthers have been playing compared to the Dallas Cowboys. They've played, 2 back-to-back wins against the Giants and Saints. 2 teams are in transition right now, in decline when it comes to the Giants. But then you play, Super Bowl contending teams like the Eagles, like the Bucks, like the Chiefs. Tight. You play them tough. And then you see the way the Cowboys lost when they blocked the punt, tried to receive the punt back, and then loses the punt, picked up by the Bengals, who then had the winning touchdown. They're having a weird year, the Bengals. That's another team that the Carolina Panthers should have beat as well. But it's been coming to this that the Panthers have got to be favored against somebody. And I can see the Panthers being back-to-back favorites depending on how this game goes, that they're the favorites against the Cowboys. They'll be the favorites against the Cardinals. I just foresee it. Just the way the Panthers are playing. And even outlets like Barstool or, say what you want about Barstool. They got some guys know what they're talking about. Busting with the boys. They both play in the league. They got oh my God, John Gruden out there, ripping up tape. And they say the Panthers in their power rankings, right? They're no longer the doo-doo team. They're not at the bottom. They're the team, and they're alone in this category. The team that nobody wants to face. That's the Panthers right now, because they're playing worry-free. They're playing with, an FU energy right now in the terms of Bryce Young. And I think the Panthers have a great opportunity to beat a Cowboy team that is lacking their starting quarterback, lacking faith really on the team. Their defense is playing better, no doubt. They still got Micah Parsons out there, but even he's starting to look a little damaged right there mentally about how this team is just finding ways to lose games. And they're at home. And I think it's a pivotal moment right now in the franchise that normally during Cowboy Week, Bank of America Stadium is taken over by Cowboy fans. And I think it could potentially still be the case. I think the people who sold their tickets to Cowboy fans already sold it. But this is an opportunity for the Panthers to send those Cowboy fans home, which could just be down the street, could send them home upset, sad, and be like, dang, could this be another head coach facing the gauntlet after losing to the Carolina Panthers? Because that just seems to be the case. You play the Carolina Panthers, you lose, you get fired, or you get benched. Or, in the case of the Philadelphia Eagles, you narrowly beat the Carolina Panthers, and there is suddenly infighting between the starting quarterback and their star wide receiver. People want the quarterback gone. People want the head coach gone. Vic Fangio and everybody's saying, hey, yeah, sure, it was a bad win, but that's a darn good team right there. They're playing a lot better than the Carolina Panthers. It just puts teams into disarray when they lose to the Panthers, which... it's kind of poopy, because that means the Panthers are seen as this doormat, and they just suddenly haven't been playing like that because they're not paying attention. But I think that's just part and parcel of a team that's suddenly on the rise. On the flip side, it's, as a Panthers fan who has clear PTSD from the last couple of years, this can't be a good sign. The fact that the Panthers are favorites, that can't be a good sign whatsoever. That they are favored to win a Cowboys team that still has some pretty darn good players, and Brandon Cooks, CD Lamb, like you still got guys who can play. Still, and Micah Parsons, like you still got guys who can play on this team. And I said it before the Eagles game that Bryce is going to throw a pick. It's not going to affect him. Will Bryce have a come down game? I sure do hope not, because again, it seems like the Panthers played their best games against the highest levels of competition. You saw that schedule before the season. You thought they were going to go 0-3 against all three teams. And now they're playing Cowboys team who, even in the preseason, I thought the Panthers could have a chance, because I always kind of thought the Cowboys are frauds. But this is a team that is seen as, right now, where they're playing, below the Panthers. And I just hope the Panthers outclass them, because there's definitely a scenario that I can envision that the Panthers played up to their competition in the Bucs, Eagles, and Chiefs, and now they played down to the competition, which is the Dallas Cowboys. Again, as I said, still giving them flowers. I would love Micah Parsons to be a Carolina Panther. I would love CeeDee Lamb to be a Carolina Panther. Cooper Rush? No. But, Zach Martin, when he's healthy, I'd love for him to be a Carolina Panther. But I just hope they don't play down. I hope they don't play relaxed. And I think they're saying all the right things. They just posted on social media that, they're going to keep pounding, keep grinding. I hope they realize that you still lost all those games. Sure, they're moral victories, if you even want to believe in that. You still lost 3 straight games. You still lost them all. And you should have won, at least against the Bucs. And I hope they go into this hungry the same way. I hope they still feel this one disrespected. I hope nobody's betting on this game on the team. But I hope they go in still with the chip on their shoulder. I hope Bryce continues doing what he definitely feels like a guy who has no social media, really. Like, I think anything that he does, tweet or Instagram or TikTok, it's done by somebody else. And I think that's a good thing. I don't think he's listening to that shit. Unfortunately, I'm a little worried about Xavier Legette. A little bit, like, maybe I'm old, almost 40. But I kind of don't want my wide receiver one who made a could have been game sealing victorious catch. I don't want him talking about that on a podcast. I really don't. And I see what the St. Brown brothers are trying to do. They want to do what the Jason Kelsey, the Jason Kelsey's, he's everywhere. But the Kelsey brothers are doing, kind of turn that around, turn that to a $100 million podcast. You got active players right now talking. They're brothers. It just makes sense. But I don't, like, I want him to think about the lack of catch, but I don't want it to be talked about too much where it becomes part of his identity. And I just wanted to move on, like truly move on. And I didn't like how the St. Brown brothers were kind of laughing. It seems like at moments they were laughing at XL. If you take a look at the podcast, not with him. And they were very complimentary with the Carolina Panthers, but just the way they talked to him. And I just don't want him to just delve on it too much. Just move on. Just move on. You're playing a Dallas Cowboys team that I think you can do well against. And also the Racoon thing. Like, I don't think they're from the same parts of America. America's massive. Like Canada, second, or the largest landmass in the world. Second largest, maybe. But we have like the same population as California. Like, there are so many people in America, like over 400 million people in the U.S., different types of people. And I went back to this, like, yeah, it's funny, he eats raccoons. I'm from Toronto. There's a lot of raccoons. It'd be great if he came here and hunted them all down, even though I do kind of love them. They're kind of cute. But I don't like how he's suddenly becoming a joke. He's kind of becoming a joke. And I just don't want him to be the wide receiver version of Jameis Winston, where everyone's kind of laughing at him and not with him. Like, yes, people say, the code words like Jameis Winston's a national treasure. He's the absolute best. But you're saying that because you kind of think he's funny. He's kind of a joke. And I don't want our wide receiver to be a joke. Is he marketable? Absolutely is he marketable. But be marketable and be a winner. Like Puka Nacua, he is exceptionally marketable. But he's also an excellent wide receiver and a clutch wide receiver coming out of nowhere and doing it as a late round pick. I need Xavier to follow that. I think he's a rookie. And in a way, just kind of be like Bryce, take a page out of Bryce. Don't be doing these interviews. Just focus on the game. Like, it's cool that he canceled his tickets because he was so pissed off, but you're still at home talking about this lack of catch 3 days later. just be a great player first. Keep your head down. Be a great player. And then start doing the interviews. I'm just old school. And I don't want people making fun of him because I'm protective. I want, because you can't be laughed at, which is what it is, that it's weird. Like the St. Brown brothers could not believe that their guy, Xavier Legette, is eating raccoons, hunting them, skinning them, eating them for Thanksgiving. They're laughing at you. I'm sorry. They're laughing at you. And you can't couple that with a slump that you're currently in right now. So they're laughing at you for what you eat, which is not cool in my books. And they're laughing at you for not playing the position the way it should be played right now, which is totally understandable. You're a rookie, but you can't be laughed at for multiple things. Do you like Panthers Post? I like Panthers Post. Do you like coffee? I love coffee. Do you like both coffee and Panthers Post? Yeah, well, for less than a cup of Joe, you can join the Panthers Post membership. And with that, you get early access to videos. So if you're watching this right now and it's Friday, you're late to the party because members got this on Thursday. You also get exclusive videos, including my first mock draft that the membership already got. There are also going to be some features during the offseason as well, talking about Cam Newton, talking about some other players as well, talking about some Panther legends. But yes, and you're also going to be getting live chats, which currently is going to be having every Thursday night. It's a small community, small but mighty, just like Bryce, and we just talk about all things Panthers. And a lot of these guys are not from the Carolinas, like yours truly. So finally, for them, it's an opportunity to talk about their favorite team, because no one around them wants to hear about it, including my own family. There's no judgment there. So yes, less than $2 US, $2.99 Canadian. Our dollar sucks to become a member of Panthers Post. When you go on your desktop site, it says subscribe, and then it says join. Click join, and that's easy. With that said, he says that he has to have wrist surgery in the offseason. He says it's not affecting him, not being an excuse, but the fact that you're bringing it up kind of makes it feel like it's an excuse, because it's not like it's a rib injury that you got to get work on, but you don't catch footballs with your ribs. You catch it with your hands. Now you're telling me your wrist needs surgery. You aggravated against the Saints, and now it's not affecting you. But the film kind of shows it might be affecting you just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's kind of annoying. I just hope he does well. And I think, Bryce says he's got extreme confidence in XL. He's going to continue to feed on the ball. And I think he's going to have a big game against the Cowboys. I really do. Especially because Cokeheads, Coca-Cola fans, your boy, Jalen Coker, coming back. He looks to be a full participant right now in practice leading up to the game against the Cowboys, and that's a great thing. He is like the younger version of Adam Thielen. He is the next to come with Adam Thielen, the big body slot wide receiver with the great hands, reliable hands, pretty decent hops as well. I think he's going to be a great addition, obviously. I think David Moore has been outperforming his contract. Adam Thielen's been playing like his guts off. I'm sure his kids are watching right now, so proud of their dad. And then XL will rebound, I have no doubt. JT Sanders shut out last week. I think he's going to have a rebound game as well. Tommy Tremble, I've always believed in that guy, always has clutch touchdowns. He's an absolute bro. Like, he is the biggest bro tight end I think the Panthers have had since our guy, Greg Olsen, who's actually going to be calling the game as well. So just because of that, I would not be surprised if either JT Sanders, Tommy Tremble, or both find the back of the end zone. I just think it's just going to be the luck of Greg Olsen out there. I think the Panthers are going to do well. I think Chuba Hubbard is a man possessed since fumbling that ball against the Buccaneers. I think he's going to run 100 plus against the Cowboys. Raheem Blackshear's still got a chest injury, but the Panthers picked up some guys. I don't know if they're actually going to make an immediate impact. The defense is suddenly coming into stride. I think they're going to give Cooper Rush some problems. And I think they're going to do great. I think J.C. Horn, if he's healthy, he was limited in practice right now, but if he's playing, I think he's going to lock down CeeDee Lamb. I think he's been locking down a lot of number one wide receivers as of late. You saw nothing out of A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown just throwing a hissy fit after games, saying that they need to improve their quote-unquote passing, shouting out Jalen Hurts saying that, hey, you got to get the ball to me, but it's just not happening. I think J.C. Horn, who, mind you, have you seen every single cornerback doing the seatbelt? Every cornerback's doing the seatbelt. That's a huge sign of respect for J.C. Horn. I think if he's healthy, things are good to go. DJ Wano's just getting back into it. That's like bringing in a soccer player with fresh legs with 80 minutes to go. You're down or you're tied right now, and he's going to try to score you the winning goal. That's DJ Wano right now. He's coming at the right time for this defense. A'Shawn Robinson also finding his stride. Josie Jewell also becoming one of the leaders there. He's being tenacious at the linebacker spot. I feel good. And the fact that you got some of your offensive weapons back in Coker, and they're going to keep feeding Chuba. He feels good. He looks good. He's rocking the starter jacket, vintage starter Carolina Panthers jacket with the pocket in the front. I'm feeling good, and I think Bryce. I think what Bryce is doing, he's not making mistakes. He's making smart moves. As Dave can also said, there's wins on every play. Even if you're throwing the ball away, even if you're avoiding a sack, though, that is still a win, and you're not getting a stupid sack. Even if he does get a pick again, I think he's mentally strong enough that he could rebound. And I think the offensive line, like you got multiple guys up for Pro Bowl awards. I think they should get it. They probably won't because we're not a winning team right now. Robert Hunt, Damian Lewis, they're the best chance. But I think as long as you do what they did last week against Philly, you run Chuba 20 plus times, and Bryce Young makes the right decisions. I think he's going to be so happy to have Jalen Coker back. I think he's going to be back at it. He's finally back at home, and I think they're gonna do some damage. They're gonna do some damage. Panthers gonna win,